So the other news is that they're going to be updating the 135
So
millimeter,
that
and
news I'm very interested in.
yeah, it used to be an f2. So I shot the f2 a lot back in the day. It was a good lens. It was relatively cheap for an L series lens too,
It
and this new
was.
one is supposed to be 1.4. That's what all the rumors are saying. Is they have a
So like
patented
faster.
lens element grouping in this article that I was reading. So it seems pretty legit. Seems like it's
That
going to
was
be something.
maybe my favorite or second favorite,
Hmm.
like kind of bokeh getter for the Canon system. Like I own
Yeah,
like probably five of those because I broke them or I dropped them or like I loved that 135 lens. So
yeah.
knowing that got updated to a 1.4 is really interesting to me. I would, if I was shooting that system, I'd buy that up in a heartbeat.
Yeah, sounds like end of
Wouldn't think
2020
twice.
it should be coming. And I don't know. I think the other consideration with the 135 millimeter 1.4 is that it's going to be extremely heavy. I don't know if I would buy it just because it's going to be very big, very heavy. It's going to be
Yeah, but if you don't have,
here.
if
We'll
you
have to,
love the 135 or you want something like that, and you already shoot that system, you don't have
yeah.
any other
If we're
choice
just going
really.
off of personal taste, I mean, yeah, I
Yeah.
mean, I would rather have like a stop down lens or whatever, like an f2.8 135 that was lighter. But
But you wouldn't have that option. The only other option you'd have is to like take the
to
old
adapt the
135 and adapt
135.
it, or get the camera that has the adapter built
Yeah,
into it, or
I suppose
whatever.
I'm just commenting on what they did here, and I mean, I wouldn't be like too excited
It's
myself.
cool though because they innovated and they made something that was different than their old line, so they're not just taking the old formula that they've been. Because that old one they've been making since like the 90s,
Yeah,
and
yeah,
they've just been
it's probably
reiterating.
going to be lots more elements in
Actually,
it. It's going to have less chromatic aberration. That one did have some pretty bad chromatic
it did,
aberration. I
yeah.
mean,
I mean,
for
F2 at
yeah,
135.
yeah.
It's pretty
I
prone to
mean,
it.
yeah, I don't need any more bokeh under f2 at a 135. It's already crazy shallow. I mean,
I would think that maybe it'd be good though if you were a sports shooter because you just get a little more speed, faster shutters.
yeah, if you're like doing like indoor sports or something.
Yeah,
But
but
are,
the depth of field is gonna be
is the Canon
so
camera?
shallow.
Yeah, is the camera going to be able to hit it at f1.4 though? That's
I
kind of
don't
the
know. While people are running around
yeah,
and stuff, hopefully.
yeah,
I don't know. Time will tell.
yeah. But man, I don't know. It just seems like a lot of these mirrorless things coming out from Canon are very heavy, very big, and like why not kind of create something a little bit smaller that feels nicer on the smaller camera body? I don't know, but
Yeah, I don't know. It's interesting.
yeah.
I would be into it if I shot that system for
Yeah.
sure. I
Well, I
would
guess
definitely get it.
like yeah, anybody out there. So we both don't shoot Canon currently, and
Right.
we did shoot the EF mount back in the day. But yeah, anybody out there who's seeing these Canon lenses come out, they keep on getting bigger and bigger, and it kind of seems counterintuitive to the mirrorless camera form factor. Do you guys
Right.
like?
Yeah.
I mean, I suppose you're still saving weight on the camera
But I
body,
guess
but
if you're gonna like completely do away with the DSLR system and the DSLR is dead,
yeah,
they're gonna need a bunch of different types of mirrorless cameras to fulfill a bunch of different photographers' niches. Like you don't want a tiny little mirrorless camera if you're like a sports shooter who's shooting like a 500 millimeter lens all the time. Like it
that's
seems
true.
kind of silly. So they're gonna come with different form factors, I think, to kind of fill in gaps for different types of photographers that still want it to be
Yeah,
a certain form factor.
yeah, that's interesting. I mean, I think ultimately, like, I think a lot of these camera manufacturers are kind of thinking about it in a wrong way. So like ideally, you come out with like basically lenses that don't open up as wide, but they're lighter. You can carry them around
Well, that's
better.
what Zeiss did, and that's what Zeiss they kind of put
Yeah,
their whole
but yeah,
ideology behind. Let's make it
but I'm
smaller and
saying
lighter.
yeah, if Canon was like, or let's just say like any camera manufacturer was thinking in like a longer term and like longer term thinking or whatever, like eventually like you're going to be able to bokeh out things and the ISO is going to be better on cameras in let's say like 5 years. So you have a light lens that doesn't stop down as much, but then you can add more bokeh like an iPhone in like 5 years or whatever. And
Yeah,
so
assuming that the processors catch up.
yeah. So I mean, I think that's something camera manufacturers should be doing like down the line here. So I think in like 5 to 10 years, like hopefully that's where it's going, where there's more software things
Well,
going
is the
on.
135 going to be a lot bigger?
Yeah, yeah.
That makes sense. The
Yeah, I
old
mean,
135 is pretty small. I
yeah.
guess they're
So
planning on
yeah,
sports
they're
guys
they're, they're
getting
going to
them.
be like I was looking at the patented thing. The the old 135 had a pretty simple element layout, and this one has a lot more complex element layout. And then it also is obviously going to be getting a lot like wider too because of the aperture. So
Right.
yeah, I don't know, but yeah, I mean, maybe Canon will be coming out with more. I mean, it just seems kind of weird. I guess like I kind of want premium lenses that are stopped down more, like, and so they kind of a lot of the RF lenses coming out, they're either L like L lens quality basically, or they're like cheapo and plasticky and
Right.
like
They're
not
either
not
really good or
marketed.
they're like the. It's kind of like how
Yeah,
Leica does it. They have like
yeah,
their Lux and then they have like their Crons. Like you either get like their best ones or you get like the ones below it. And a lot of
yeah.
companies are doing that and they're making like that cheaper tier.
Yeah, I guess like with like Leica though, like if I buy like a cron or something, I
You're still gonna
still
get crazy sharpness and
I
all that
know
kind of
it's like I
rendering.
don't I
Yeah.
feel like I'm just making a like a trade off in like with a lot of these other
Well, the
lenses
Fuji
like
ones are pretty good too because they make the two lines, and I have some of both, and some
yeah
of the F2 series stuff is really good.
yeah. Do you like ever feel like basically I guess I would just want to think that I'm only losing like my aperture. I'm not losing like sharpness or any
Yeah, I
like
don't feel like I lose any sharpness on those lenses. I feel like
okay
that actually in a lot of
yeah
cases those F2 lenses are sharper because they have the newer coatings and they're newer
yeah.
designs than the older
I
lenses.
suppose a lot of it is just kind of marketing too. So like, you
Hmm.
know, like so Canon kind of markets like a nifty 50 or whatever
Hmm. Hmm.
towards like a beginner and like you think of it like
Yeah. Yeah, I
y-
think that's how Fuji does it too. But they
yeah,
but their cheaper lens, like their F2 lens, is still really nice. Like it's still $400 or $500. It's not like so cheap as a Nifty 50. That's like $100 where they're trying to cut all corners and make it work, but really
yeah,
inexpensively. You know what I mean?
yeah. I like the middle ground. I like
Yeah, that's what these lenses
like
are.
a
They're like
five
that
hundred
middle
dollar
ground.
lens,
Yeah,
eight
that's what
hundred
these
dollar
are.
lens
They're
even.
like
Yeah,
that's how these are. They're mostly 400 to
yeah.
six hundred
If
dollars.
you pay like $100, $200 for that lens, then it makes you think like I'm not getting what I want out of this lens
Yeah,
probably.
right.
But
So yeah, it's nice that it's smaller, especially if you're like an event photographer or you're running gunner. You
yeah,
just
for
need to
sure.
save weight.
Yeah.
Yeah. So anyway, I think that's why some of these photography companies like Fuji are coming out with two lines, and of course Leica's done it forever, having multiple lines so you can get something that's a little less expensive that still delivers, or you could buy something that's really expensive and know you have the best thing.
This was a clip from the full photo footage podcast. Please hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, and we will see you every Sunday for a new podcast. Every Sunday, new podcast. Subscribe now. Thank you very much. Thanks.